Deze is hartstikke awesome Jeff.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Let's do this, guys. We have a special guest with us, and we're going to introduce them very soon. But we want to let you know that we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour, and they just had an awesome show this past weekend. And we have one of the awesome coaches that was a part of that show, Murphy Gonzalez. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we want to hear a little bit of your takes on VFT. I know Alex has some things to chime in as well. And let's just discuss what that experience was like as a coach first for you.
All right. Well, this one was awesome. I enjoyed the younger kids. The younger kids show was part of the fights were really, really good. A lot of people, I do it as well with my super fights, but a lot of these kids don't get to shine like that. So somebody like Jesse and stuff and Virtual Fight Tour giving these kids their shot to shine like that and be on the spotlight, that's what it's all about, man. That's what's going to make these kids are the future, So
Definitely.
That part was really good. I mean, I had one of my guys, the young guy, Oscar Garcia from Mexico, that fought. It's my second time. I took Peyton, Peyton last time, and I've had a couple of guys. Robert Cardenas also compete there. I wasn't there, but it's a great experience. Jesse puts on a good show, man. I also even got to judge a couple of fights at the beginning since one of the judges was a little late, and it was pretty cool, man. Congrats to Jesse, man. He puts on a great show.
Yeah, definitely. Alex, go ahead and talk about that with the kids, because that was something you were telling me before we even got on, was that you were just impressed.
I mean, I was super impressed. The same thing, Murph. I was looking at it, and I just couldn't help myself. I had to go post something on Facebook about it. I was like, these kids have a bright future. I was talking to Jeff about it. I was like, watching them, and they're juniors, So unless
juniors, some of them were actually there was a couple of the maybe 8-9-year-olds there, and I don't know if it was the spotlight, if they knew they were on TV or what, but I think they like overachieved. Yeah, they were like super,
No, you hit the nail on the head. I was thinking sometimes you need to watch talented juniors or kids. You're like, oh, they're pretty good, but they're kids. But these ones were doing things that you don't ever see juniors or kids do, using the full area, your movement, back foot angling. Like what?
It doesn't hurt for them to be. Most of the kids there were for either from Choi Bin school or from Jesse school, so it doesn't hurt to have a couple of amazing instructors there.
That's right.
That you belong to the school.
That's a good point. But you know about this too, though, Murph. Is sometimes you get schools that produce top level talent, but within that school they're just super top heavy, and then the rest may not be in that same echelon. You're like, all right, well, the rest of you guys kind of look like blue belts, but it's like blue belts and then world champions, right? But that was certainly not the case.
Right.
These guys were great. I'm looking at them it was fantastic. I love the movement. I loved just. Everybody looked very versatile. They didn't have anything that they were like a one trick pony, and they only had this one tool. Everybody looked pretty versatile. My favorite, I want to see a rematch of this, was Oscar Garcia and Andres. I mean, wow, that was a cool ass match, right?
Yeah. Andres is a great fighter.
Absolutely.
All year he's been active. He's from Guatemala, and all year he's been super active at all the, of course, the few tournaments that were available this year. But him and Oscar were there every tournament to the finals.
Wow,
You know.
that's awesome. And Oscar's
We're
had a
not
big
wasting
year,
any
right?
time. We're getting
Right?
right into this one today,
Yeah.
guys.
That's right. And Oscar's had a big year, like you said, but he just recently won his first adult division as well, right? At the
Yeah,
21.
yeah. He trains he has and he's actually from Veracruz in Mexico, but he flies down to Hector Solorio school,
Right.
and as you can see, he's like the copy of Hector. Like his mini me, and no, for sure. But that's his instructor. So we spoke a little bit about it, and he just has nothing to do. Sometimes he just has nothing else to do in juniors, and it's time for you to become a rookie again. We spoke about it. I told him, hey, it's going to be different. You're going to go from winning everything to, but he went ahead, won the super lightweight division. We beat a couple of good guys, including John. He beat Angel Diaz in open weight, which is good fighter, and stuff like that. He's gonna make mistakes, but it's time for him to step up to up to that next level. But awesome. I think he can handle it. He's gonna be a good super lightweight.
Awesome. All right, so Alex, I know you want to talk about the other fight. You want to talk about the
James I want to get into every single match. Although I was super impressed with every single match, including the Brian Crum and Jerry Fast Feet Fontenez fight. That was great. Talk about entertaining. The only thing I'll say is I feel like they shouldn't do point and continuous because there was a lot of downtime in between the rounds, changing of the gloves, and the Virtual Fight Tour puts on such a great show that it just kind of looked like when you're just watching it on a screen, there was a lot of downtime. So I just feel like maybe we should cut that out or make a decision as to what we're going to do. But it was great. But I do want to talk about the James Poor, Robbie Lavoie fight.
Right.
Talk about fireworks. This is the one thing I can say. I was right. I knew that this would be a high-scoring match. And, I didn't know. That was my prediction. But I just really felt like whoever is winning towards the end of the match, towards the third round, there's going to be lots of pressure. And because both of them are just like, let's freaking go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
Say it, Murph.
Let's say
it. I'm going to tell you how it is. And like I said, I had Jesse, I know him for many years. The judges there are great judges. Akin is a great judge. I mean, just a great person, great martial artist. I don't know about 100% the judging, but you hear Jerry, right?
Yeah.
But I listen. Robbie knew what he was getting into. It's still their hometown. That's another reason I went. And Andre, no matter what, is a member. There's always an advantage, right? A little bit of everywhere you go, there's an advantage for somebody. Sure. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't seen Robbie fight as good as he fought in a long time. He had a perfect game plan. We kind of set it up together. We had breakfast in the morning, and how I'm everything. Hey, he asked me, hey coach, can you coach me at this tournament? I'm like, yeah, for sure. And not the first time that I coach him, and know him very well. But I don't do things. I'm not one of those sit in your chair and kick punch, and I don't even know who you are. So we had our breakfast. We studied a little bit. And this and that. He had a great game plan. We were up, but I did tell him, if you weren't up by 2 or 3 points at the end, you're not going to win this match. And there was a couple of bad calls, but it happens. It's not. I'm not here to blame anybody. It's done and everything. But man, he had one kick to the head. He had a side kick that I'm sure that everybody saw that stopped him flat. But it happens. Fights are fights. But did I think Robbie won the fight? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But. It is what it is,
that because I couldn't help myself either, Murph. So I do it again, right? And I'm like, I really felt this way. What do we have to do to get side kicks to the body called now?
He stopped him with that side kick, man. Like he flat out stopped him. But there was also a kick to the head that he was against the cage. I even did my yelling and screaming like but there's nothing you can do about that. I don't think it's cheating. None of those 3 judges at all are cheaters at all.
No.
At all. So so it's just it's just some bad calls, and it happens. And Robbie is not upset. He's upset with the outcome, but he's not upset with his fighting, because I think this is the best he's fought in a while. I think if Robbie fights like that, he's going to be dangerous. Again, he looked like the 20-year-old Robbie from before. One of the smartest fighters ever to ever fight.
Man. He is.
Yeah. So I thought, well, tell me what you think about this, Murph, because I was talking to somebody else, and they were like, "Well, did you think it was bad calls?" And I sincerely do not think that way. But I don't think the correct calls were made. And here's what I mean by that is, I think it was kind of consistent. I watched a couple of side kicks in the earlier fights with some of the juniors, and I thought a couple of those should have been called. So it wasn't just Robbie. It wasn't just hometown. I kind of feel like it's a culture thing. I was talking to Jeff about this, and I said, the side kick to the body is already the only one allowed to be scored anyway. Right?
To the body.
When was the last time anybody saw a roundhouse kick scored to the body?
Not very often.
But listen, again, Robbie adjusted to everything they were not calling also. Because when Robbie was going under and James was going over, we in the timeout, I called, I go, don't do it again, because they're not calling under. So if you got to adjust to the judges also, right? If you don't adjust to a judge and just do it your way, you got to please the judges what they want. If they're not calling these sides, don't throw these sides. If they're not calling your back fist, don't throw change up, because you got to adjust to what each judge likes a certain thing, I guess, or whatever, So it just and Robbie adjusted. He never did it again. He cut the ring in half. He really controlled the ring like he was the bigger fighter. I mean, there was not Robbie didn't do nothing wrong at all.
Right.
So, the only thing I feel like, man, I wish I would have seen a spin kick. I wanted to see a spin kick. I did. But that was that was me selfishly wanting that, though. That's honestly, I was just selfishly wanted that.
Yeah, that ring is kind of small. The ring is kind of small. Even Oscar moves a lot, and he told me that he couldn't move as much because it's a small place, and fast fighters like that are used to rotating on their with their back leg behind, and a lot of rotation, and he couldn't do it as much. So I know if Oscar couldn't do it, I'm sure that they looked a little dangerous to do this kind of stuff. And we really planned on a basic strong fight, being the stronger fighter, although Robbie's the smaller fighter. But he really looked like he was the stronger, bigger fighter. So again, I don't think he did anything wrong. He fought a great fight. James is also an amazing fighter. I mean, hello, it's James Ford. I mean,
exactly.
I mean, hello, So
that's a great way to put it. It's James freaking Ford.
Yeah, exactly.
But we would love to see that fight again. I think that would just be another. I mean, it was entertaining the first time. Would be entertaining the next time. And you talked about just the cage and how that changes. Do you like it? What do you think about it?
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. I like it. I think if the calls are consistent, like the one call that he kicked James in the head, but he was against the cage, and the rules are that you're still fighting even if you're touching the cage, right? So as long as that's consistent, it's just different. I love different. That's what I do my super fights. That in my full super fight, that everything's 1 point and all that stuff. I like different stuff. I like entertaining stuff, and man, every show up to now that Virtual Fight Tour has been entertaining.
Absolutely,
Definitely.
every single one.
And you have to have different to do something like this that's kind of out of the box. You know what I mean? To get people's attention. You know what I mean? So I like it as well. So talking to Jesse, I think the next one will be in February sometime. So looking forward to the next Virtual Fight Tour. Congrats, Jesse, on a great show. And
he better not do it on February. He better not do it on February 11 and 12.
That's right.
Apparently, there's an event happening then.
Oh,
exactly.
Of course. All right. So, Murphy, man, you've been around this game for so long, man. So we want to just talk to you about just everything, just a little bit of your history and your background, and then we're going to get into which a lot of people know you for is Team Velocity, right?
Right.
So again, in case people don't know where you're from and when did you start?
This is this upcoming year will be year number 41 for me. I'm only turning 47 in January, so I'm not that old, but I started young. And
Awesome.
I think when people when I say that people don't understand this, 41 years nonstop. A lot of people say I did karate 30 years ago. 40. I've never stopped doing martial arts. Never stopped doing karate. Karate is my life. I don't know how to do anything else.
Yes, sir.
Plain and simple. Don't know how to do anything else. At the beginning, when I was young, was just go to your karate school. Always had the same instructor. Had many people that helped me out, especially when I was growing up and getting pretty good in sport karate. But always the same instructor. He passed away a couple of years ago. In my arms. He battled cancer for 10 years. But always been with the same instructor. It was always fun for me. Then when I was a junior, started traveling a little more. Manny Reyes Senior took a couple of the FBBA juniors that were winning in the local circuit. Went to Guatemala and a couple of different stuff, and always became it was always fun. And then at 17, I opened up my own school. I opened up my own school, and when I opened up my school at 17, that's when Leo and his brother joined.
Okay.
Leo was 4 years old.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's stop there for a sec. Wait, I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
17.
At what year was this you opened up your own school?
1992.
92.
Yeah.
And you opened up your first karate school.
Yeah, it was a small place. Actually, I started teaching at a YMCA. I had a friend of mine that was teaching at a YMCA, right? And yeah. And he goes, "Hey, I'm leaving. You want to teach? You want to teach there?" I was 17, and so I asked my instructor, and it was like, because at that moment it wasn't you can do whatever you want. I'm like, he's like, as long as you train here 3 times a week, all right, you can go and teach over there 3 times a week.
Okay.
And and then they were going to pay me $10 an hour. I'm like, $10 an hour. But of course, it was 2 hours a day, 3 times a week, or like $60. But hey, I have my own students. I have my own students. I can do whatever I want my way. And of course, the YMCA kicked me out because we were fighting there all the time. We were fighting hard, so they didn't want the liability. So I grabbed a couple of the parents, and my mom had a store, a party store that she would. And upstairs there was like an office. And the guy, liked me a lot. He's like, "Dude, I'll rent you the office for $300 a month." Like a huge office, like,
yeah.
And
all right.
And I'm like, $300, man. I asked all the parents. As soon as I got to enough money to pay the rent, we left, and that was the beginning. And then, of course, later on, I opened up, a way bigger school, and was there for over 20 something years in the same location in Miami.
Awesome. Awesome, man.
It's been a long ride. It's been a long ride. I'm not into who knows what or anything else. I don't care about none of that. I wear my black belt. Don't got no stripes. None of my guys, none of them have a stripe on their belt. You know what I mean? We don't wear our rank over a belt. My belt is almost white. A lot of people say, "Man, you can't afford a new one." I'm like, I don't want a new one.
Yeah.
I don't want a new one. And it's been, I've always done Goju. A lot of people thought that for a while that I was Manny Reyes' student, and I did Kempo because I was always with them. Always with them, always with Manny Reyes Jr. and Alex and stuff. We all grew up together. But no, I've always done Goju, and changed it up more to sport karate, but still say that I do the Goju forms and everything else. Yeah, we do forms.
Yes.
Yeah, we do forms.
Yes.
I actually had a couple of really good kids, growing up that did forms. Not Leo and them. They hated that. They hated forms. So I never been a person that says you have to do forms at the tournament, but of course you better know them if you want to pass your rank,
Right.
To the next rank. So
that's a good way to go.
Yeah. I mean, I think for forms you have to be a show person as well. Not only, if you're not a good show person, you ain't gonna do as well, You ain't gonna do as well. Can you guys hear me? Because I had a call.
Yeah, I hear
You
you.
guys good?
Fine.
Yep,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
good.
You
Yep.
know, so like I told you guys, man, it's gonna be number 41 now. And
Wow.
it's
Awesome.
been an awesome ride.
That's great, man. That's great, Murphy.
You're
So
having a martial arts birthday.
yeah. Now
Yeah,
you
yeah,
also
yeah.
have, was it this year or is it next year that you have is it 20 years for Team Velocity? Is that what it is?
Team Velocity turns 20 now in 2022 from 1992. I'm sorry, 2002. 2002.
All right. Awesome.
2002.
So you said 2002 was when this started. What was your plan with that? And who were some of the first ones that you had on the team?
I had been in a few teams, a few local teams, and stuff like that. And I love the whole structure of a team. And then I got to this guy that was his daughter was really, really good. Her name was Nicole Costales, right? She was amazing. And he had a trucking company. He's like, dude, let's do a team. We started traveling. We were just traveling with Leo and Leo's brother and stuff like that. A couple of my juniors, they were really, really good from my own school, all from my own school. Okay. And like, hey, let's do a team. And I got Team Velocity the same way I got Starcade. If you guys don't know those names, those are wrestling names from wrestling tournaments.
Of course.
Uh,
I was a big wrestling. Actually, Starcade, Manny Reyes Jr. did the first Starcade with me in 1999. We did it as co-promoters. We asked on our way to the U.S. Open. We asked Pops, Manny Reyes Sr., hey, can we have our own tournament? And like, I'll help you guys out, but you guys got to do it together. Of course, Manny quit after 1 year, and little Manny quit after 1 year, and I kept it going,
That's
until
awesome.
the number 24 straight, every year from coming out in 2022. But so the guy told me, and then the guy wanted a kid in every black belt division, like he wanted to really. So I had mostly juniors. We had of course, Leo's brother had a very good juniors that came up on Velocity, and then he wanted to get some adults. So the first adult that I picked up at the U.S. Open, we're here looking for adults, right? Actually, the first adult I was going to pick up was Jesse Ray.
All right.
Okay.
And,
wow.
Okay. Actually, we were in the same team in Miami Vice. We were in the same karate team together in Miami Vice. And, of course, after that broke down, I was going to talk to him about it. And then, unfortunately, he had that accident that he had.
Right.
So that never happened. So I'm at the U.S. Open, and, man, I see a lot of commotion in one ring. When I go to see, I see this local guy from Florida, Keon Pigney, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Beating the crap out of Trevor Nash. Okay? And got my first fighter. Got me my first fighter, and Keon was the first adult. Keon was the first. Then I had Eli Thompson. I don't know if you guys remember Eli. Well, a local, and his dad is a big mentor of mine for many years. And of course, so I got Eli. And the following year, after I picked up Jeremy, which is another story, crazy story.
Yeah, that's a funny story.
The following year, I put Jeremy, became an adult, and that was our starting lineup was Eli, Keon, and Jeremy.
Awesome.
So you guys want to know about Jeremy? Yeah, I'm sure.
Let's hear from you. Yeah, let's hear from you. We heard his side, I think, last year, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
A year later, you're on.
All right. So I'm at the Battle of Atlanta, right? And Leo and them were known for hitting hard and hitting late and everything else. So we're fighting the junior team, which was Leo, his brother, and another one of my students that was like an orange belt, but I already had him fighting black belt. I was very known for that. You train with me, you should be good enough, and we're fighting Joe Fife, Josh Fife, and Jeremy in junior teams. Okay. So Leo hits Joe late, and then comes this punk and pushes Leo, gets in the ring and pushes Leo.
Oh God!
And of course they went at it, and that was Jeremy.
Wait a minute,
that was Jeremy.
So Jeremy wasn't fighting, and he pushes Leo.
No, he was in the junior team fighting, but he wasn't fighting at that moment. It was Leo versus Joe Fife. Leo hit
Jeremy just pushes him.
Of course, Leo hits Joe late, and Jeremy gets in the ring and pushes Leo,
Push him.
right? And I'm like, look at this punk. And then somebody, we're talking about it later, and he goes, what are you complaining about? The guy fits right in with you. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. And then I picked him up right the next event, and he was my junior. My junior squad was Leo's brother was an amazing fighter, probably better than Leo. Okay, Richard, Leo, and Jeremy. That was my junior team.
Wow.
That was my junior lineup for Velocity. And of course, right after that, Jeremy moved up to adults a couple of months early, and then he was the
Yes,
this you guys know that Sam, you guys know Sam Lang, right? He just put something.
Yes.
He came to me when he was 13 years old. His instructor sent him to my school and became my student in fighting for over 4 years. He always calls me, he says, he's one of my students. I'm one of his sensei. He's a great person, Sam.
He is.
And I appreciate him for
one
everything.
Of my favorite guys. He's one of my favorite insiders. Sam is a legit friend, and I have yet to meet him. Sam and I met because he just wants to comment on the show all the time. Sam's also in our fantasy football league. And he's horrible. Sam is bad. He's so bad. Sam and Romani are competing for who is the worst at fantasy football.
Sam, he came over to the school, and then they sent him over, and for 4 years he got beat up by Leo and Richard and all of them, and he loved it. He loved to get beat up by them. That was one of his accomplishments, that he got beat up by them, so that's funny. I love Sam. I love him, and I love his family. But yeah, that's how Jeremy came along, and I've been trying to get rid of him ever since. But unfortunately, after that, he became a student also, and that's my boy. Through the very rough times. You don't know who your real friends are and your family members are, right? Because I only call family members, not the ones that were forced into me, the ones that I picked. And to the bad part, when the bad times, and he's always been there by my side. If there's one, it's the other. Everybody knows that. So I won't tell him all the time. I was just gonna think that I like him or something, but I appreciate him always. Except when he writes some stupid stuff on Facebook, then people message me, yo, tell him to stop. I'm like, dude, he's his own person. He's like 35 already.
Right. That's right.
Call him. Right.
Yeah, I understand that too. I get that now too. When Alex says something that pisses people off, people call me. So it's like, all right, whatever. Yeah, that's what happens, right? Oh man, so true. So Murph, man. Yeah, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, so I'm loving the story on how Velocity got started, but you've had a lot of people, notable people on or a part of Team Velocity. Who are some of the notable people that have been a part of Team Velocity over the years? I mean, because we're talking about it's going to be 20 years. It's a lot of
20 years coming up. I've had, of course, Kevin, Gina Thornton, of course, Leo. I mean, there's been a lot of good ones. People say, but why haven't they stayed? Except for Leo. Leo's a different story. It's a family thing. Everybody else has been I've never had a big sponsor.
Right.
So a lot of the work that I've done, believe it or not, it's been without a sponsor. Until until we were blessed with Jason Shen for a while. That's another story how I got with him. We never had. So most of those people knew, especially Gina and them. They knew that with me by their side, there was a better chance to win.
Right.
You can be as good as you want, but if you have the right coach together, and people talk about, coaches, that's not true. That's not true. If you have the right one, not like I said, not the funny one that sits down and says kick and punch, but the one that knows you, the ones that they'll help you win, the one that will work your good points and take away the bad ones and see the fight, and you can listen to and you can understand them. It's a team.
Okay, so you are, and I think you're a very good coach because I've seen you coach.
I coached you once.
You did coach me once when we did the Team USA.
We did a Team USA.
Yeah, I did pretty good, didn't I, Coach? I did all right, didn't I?
Yes, you did, sir. Yes, you
All
did.
right. So as a coach, there are frustrating moments.
Yes, there is.
Who has pissed you off the most? When
That's
you
easy.
coach them,
That's an easy answer. Is Leo.
Tell me how.
Because he's very hard-headed. And for me, it's always been as his instructor, as his real instructor since he was 4 years old. And it's always been me and nobody else. I know who Leo could have been one of the best in ever. Right. But if you guys don't know that, Leo went half to the tournaments without training.
Yeah.
You know, Leo went to have to and still kicked everybody's butt and was still winning overall grand or whatever, you know, and stuff like that. So those frustrating times. Actually had Juan Ramon came to visit me today, a surprise here in Orlando. Wow. And I moved to Orlando, right? And which is still, one of my guys. And you guys know Juan Ramon, of course. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. And we were just talking about the first time, we were going to Puerto Rico a lot. And me and Jeremy talked about it. I go, man, this guy's got so much talent, but they only know him in Puerto Rico. So we picked him up and brought him here. And then now who does not know Juan Ramon, right. of how good he can do his overall and everything, right? So we're at the Pan Americans, and I got two teams. I got two strong teams. One of them was Obeda, Ramon de la Cruz. I forgot the other one, and Jamie Cravens. And the other one was, of course, the even more powerful team. There was Kevin, Leo, and Jeremy. So I put Juan Ramon as the fourth. I always like to have four. And the first fight, there was about 25 teams in that day. And the first fight, they fight in DKS, right? And, bro, we almost lost, right? We almost lost. So we're getting off the stage, and I push Leo off the stage, and I'm yelling. I grabbed Jeremy by his shirt, and I'm yelling at these guys like, if you guys don't, blah, you guys have seen me, right. and tearing a new on them, and Ramon is just looking at us like very serious, right? So of course we win the whole thing. We win overall. We win the team fighting that night. That Saturday, the next Saturday night, and then we're all partying and having fun. And we're like messing with him and like, Ramon, what are you thinking? He's like, man, I look up to Kevin Walker, Leo, and Jeremy, right? Like if they're these superheroes, and you're yelling at them like if they were babies. And I was saying to myself, what is he gonna say to me if I lose? So the way he always says the same story and always cracks me up. Like he's like, man, if you're yelling at these guys that are superstars already, what are you gonna do to me if you're gonna kick me off the team if I lose? So yeah, but
that's pretty good.
Yeah. We've had we had some good stuff in 2009. We're at the New England Open, and RD comes to me and says, hey, I want to work with Leo. I want Leo on the All-Stars, and I want you to come in and help us coach, And, I didn't have a super strong adult team at that moment and stuff like that. So I'll keep the velocity, but I'll help a little bit coach. They don't need a lot of coaching, just and stuff like that. So that's we got started with although we only lasted 1 year. Leo had a problem with Hugh Smith, and and we broke up after that. And we had our own team. It was just we're grateful for Raymond and respect him, of course. But yeah, we've had a lot of good fighters, man. Joe Five, Joe Five, Damien, Chris Walker,
crazy.
We've had
guys.
Yeah.
All around competitors as well, like Katie Smith.
Katie,
other people you didn't say like Ramon.
Chrissy. I don't know if you guys remember Chrissy Concepcion.
Yes,
from Atlanta. Of course, one of our best. Oh, Hakeem is the captain of the team still.
Yes, exactly.
He's Joyce Blanco. Which is still she's off doing her things now, but she's never been off the team. And then some great juniors. I had a junior, Dario Silveira. There was an amazing junior. Then he fought a couple of events as adult and did really good as well. But yeah, we've had a lot, but mainly mainly losing them has been, of course, Hector. Hector. And losing a couple of them has been like, when Hector gives me a call and he gives me a call and he starts crying and he hangs up the phone on me. And I already knew what was
coming.
And then he goes, I can't, but they offered me this, and this. Hector loves Waco, and they offer him, the sky and the stars and something. And as a good friend and coach, right? How am I going to stop that when I cannot compete against it?
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
When I cannot compete it. If it wasn't for that, and we had a good sponsor, I would always have had and without having the sponsor and stuff like that, we've won almost every world tournament there is in team fighting. Except for the U.S. Open and Diamonds, we won every other one.
Right.
In team fighting with not the biggest stars and not the biggest sponsor and not the biggest names and stuff like that. It's just been, the way we do it. Call us rough. We've always been very physical our way, but we've always done it. So and I'm gonna continue to do it. We got some new guys. We got some new kids that are coming up, and I'm gonna continue to do it. I'm gonna continue to win, and I'm gonna beat those guys too. The new ones that have a lot of people. That's just the way that I do things.
That's right. I love it.
You guys wait till Justice Floyd comes out.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well,
just wait.
The Floyd.
Just wait. He was missing somebody to yell at him and put him the right way. He has an awesome dad, amazing dad, and his mama are amazing, and they fight for me too now. But they needed that one person to tell him and slap him around a little bit, and he's got the right person now, and he listened. At the one tournament he was fighting Kevin Walker, I grabbed him on the phone 2 minutes before, and on the phone, I wasn't there. I was on the phone. And man, he beat Kevin by a few points. Beat Kevin by a few points, and then of course me being there, he almost beat Bailey, and stuff like that. But Justice is the future, man. This kid, I think, is 19 years old.
Yeah, so, he's 19. I've known this kid for a long time, man. Seen him grow, and definitely the future. And you're right. He needed that, just something different. When you grow up and you have that family that's with you all the time, you still sometimes need a different change. And everybody's a little different. So outside ear. So
Terry is amazing.
He's a great
amazing knowledge. Everything else, Terry, but it's still his dad.
Right. Exactly.
Still his dad. And the emotions are different, right? But me and Terry have a great relationship. We want the best for Justice, which is the most important.
Here we go. Look at Mike Conroy.
Great serious love right here.
Is Mike Conroy talking crap again? I love you. I love you, Mike. He's my man. That's my man.
Telling you that you're one of the best. That's some pretty good credibility right there.
I've known him for many years, and go ahead.
Something that I want to touch on a little bit. So you mentioned that you've had this team for 20 years, all right, with mostly little to no sponsor, yet you still have people wanting to be a part of the team, pretty much because of what the team can give as a team and the coaching.
Right.
That's a big deal, because I think we all know people who have been on other teams who the moment they've been on the team, all of a sudden something was just different. They weren't the same person. They weren't the same fighter. We can all mention a few of them, on a number of different occasions.
Both ways. Some people had clicked and become better fighters, and some people had gone down.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So some people have gone down. It's not the right setup. It's not the right people. It's not the right. I don't know. Call it whatever you want.
Right.
But a coach who can bring you up or bring you down.
I think now that we're in an age where everybody's pretty accessible, this should be a time where if you are a real competitor, like this, you're really doing this, that almost everybody's accessible, right? You shouldn't just be doing this thing on your own.
Definitely. You know what? I'm gonna tell you, even when Gina calls me up and hello, you're getting picked up by Paul Mitchell, and she tells me, Coach, You gave me she was on Mass Mile, and she has a lot of great people. Of course, she's with Terry Elliott, amazing. Like brain Terry Elliott, the brain in the sport. But yeah, she knew that that we can work together very good. Then when she gets picked up, when she gets offered by Palmeiras, she gives me a call and says, "Coach, if you say no, I'm not going." I'm like, "Dude, I love you too much to say no. I can't offer you, a quarter of what Paul Mitchell can offer you besides the coaching, because it's not about the coaching for him or anything else, just everything else that they offer." I wouldn't be a good friend or anything else if I tell you something like that, but I do appreciate, and they've always been forever grateful. Well, Kevin still calls me coach. Gina still calls me coach. We still talk, everything else, and I appreciate them, but yeah, if it wasn't for that, but like I said, we're still here, and we're still probably one of the oldest teams out there.
Yeah,
and we'll continue to be there.
Definitely.
So I've had some what some people call ridiculous takes, right? I've said some things and people are like, "Alex, you're an idiot," right? I 100% believe everything I say, all right? I don't say anything for clicks, all right? There's one thing that I believe wholeheartedly that I'm just waiting. Will anybody echo me, all right? And I don't really think anybody's wholeheartedly done this yet, but I think we have the whole sponsorship thing backwards. I think that we should be sponsoring juniors. We should be sponsoring kids.
Always been a part of it. Always been the biggest fan. Maybe been one of the ones that's had the most juniors from the beginning. Yeah. And those juniors became Jeremy Roque and Leo and all these guys.
Right.
Juniors they don't get prize money. Adults do. All right. Juniors, when they come along with it, all right, you have to get if a 13-year-old kid is going to compete, it's not just the 13-year-old kid's bills. You have mom's bills and dad's bills. All right. So for me to bring one person there, it's going to cost me 3 times the amount of money. Right. So I really believe the sponsorship is backwards. But
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
One person believes.
And not to no, I mean, and even as promoter and stuff, you guys know that the juniors are the ones that bring them. I mean, ask Mr. Promoter over here to your side. He knows that adults don't make you money. You probably lose money by giving them prize money and everything else. It's just fun, and you want them there and to have an awesome event and everything else. And but they don't make you any money. A couple of them you bring in for free. And by the time you've done it and give them 500, 300, whatever, 1,000, whatever it is, they you lost money with them. So juniors are definitely should be better taken care of.
You can't have a high class event without the top names. You need them there because they are what keep the juniors wanting to be that. You can't have a credible martial arts event without having the best people. But I believe as a sponsor, we're doing it backwards. Look, I don't seem so crazy anymore.
No, you're right. You're right, and you have said a couple of things. I have to tell you. I do have to tell you. Jeremy will kick my. He ain't gonna kick nothing. But Jeremy will tell me if I didn't tell you. You were pretty crazy with the whole what you call it?
Which one?
Forgot his name now from Paul Mitchell.
Zolt one?
Yeah, that was
that's pretty crazy. Yeah.
But we'll leave that one there. There you go, Jeremy. I said it. But hey, you know what I love? You know what I love about you? Just exactly the way you said it, right? You're like us. You say what you feel, and it stays there. And the hell with what everybody else thinks.
When I said that, though, when I gave my explanation, you thought about it.
No. See, he's not gonna. That's what you gotta love about Alex, though. He's gonna just keep, going on until like someone's got.
No, because it didn't make any sense the way. I think you like dove your own grave because you're like, oh, but he's won everything, but he's overrated. I mean, like
that's weird. That makes what I said.
And I'm not. And by the way, I'm not his fan. The guy's good. I'm not his fan. I'm not a big fan of his. Never was. I think he was beatable and everything else. But if you win everything, you still got to be considered one of the. I mean, you won one way or another. You won it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you
He
won
did
it. So
He did
The
it
way
Yeah,
I
somehow.
somehow.
worded it was very important. I said he has the awards. He has the awards.
Yeah, but you can't win it if you're not good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
You can be awarded the awards.
Yeah.
You can receive. The
That's
awards.
when it comes to the whole cheating. You know what? I don't know if you guys ever seen. You know, Jeff knows me. I mean, you both know me, but Jeff knows me maybe a little more. I've never been a big into cheating. I don't call anybody a cheater. You know, I'll yell and scream and say you messed up, you blind as a bat, and everything else. The cheating part, I think, you know, you got to be good enough to win. So I've never been a big deal, a big into cheating. Or you're a terrible judge, you suck, everything else. But you know, the cheating.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
I think very little people, very little people actually cheat. You know, they
No,
just
I don't think
not.
that's-
They're just not good. They're just not good judges, or blind, or just you know, or you're
their
not.
eyes are drawn to the bigger name fighter, or they're the one in their area because that's what they see or is used to. They're not looking in the middle and blocking it out. They're
So you can tell a judge, are you blind? But you know, I don't think I've ever said you're a cheater. You know, you're cheating.
Right.
You know. You know that I don't think too many people do it. You know, you know, you can hide a point here and there, but you know, but you know, but whatever.
Like
you know, you win the fight, you win or you lose. You know, it's just like Robbie's fight. He knew that he had to, you know, he had to do extra work. You know, and you know, most of the fighters that way. You know, even you know, Leo and Jeremy and Kevin and all of them. You know, I expect more. I expect more all the time. I it's never enough, you know. It's never enough for me. People say that I'm so greedy, but it's just never enough. You know, I expect more for myself. I blame myself. My wife blames me. I had Robert fight at VFT, no, he fought at the Diamond for the overall for 30+ grands, and my wife is blaming me that if I wasn't there, it's my fault because I wasn't there. You know, you know, she expects more, you know, and stuff like that, and
I understand.
You know. And that's the good thing about married to a karate girl.
That's right.
I agree with her.
Yeah, I agree too. I agree too. I would have changed it around.
And I remember thinking, like,
what?
Why is he not pushing it the same at the end?
Yeah.
Like,
he had his own game plan. He thought it was 2 rounds. He was going to take it slow and then come high. But I don't do it that way. He knows I don't do it that way. So yeah, he messed up, and he knows it. I yelled at him when he got here, but you know, a little bit was his fault. A little bit was not. But like I said, you know, she told me, the first thing she goes, "That will never happen to you were there." You know, like I get it from everywhere. I get it from everywhere, man. I get it from everywhere, you know.
Since we've been talking about the team, why don't you let us know who the guys who are on the current team right now are? What does Team Velocity consist of now?
Right now I have a very young lineup. And I know I'm going to pick up a couple of. If I've had a couple of big names this year, tell me. My contract is up and I want to fight for you and I don't care about the money. So I'll leave you guys at that. Okay. And I don't care about anything. I can pay my own trip. Big. And when I say big names, I say huge names. But we'll leave that there. But right now I have a very young lineup. If I was to start my lineup, I actually will start my lineup with Justice, a very young fighter, Isaí Acevedo from Puerto Rico. Young kid that's just getting better. That's a lot to grow, of course. And there's only one way to grow, and that's to go out there and compete. And probably Oscar. Yeah. You know, I'll probably put a big guy. I love to have 4 fighters always. So it always be, you know, if Ramon is there or you know, or Robert or even Hakeem. I think you know, in team fighting, Hakeem can still fight with you know, in team fighting with the young guys. You know, you know, still one of the smartest fighters ever. You know, smartest fighters ever. Like, super underrated. I don't know if underrated because everybody knows how good he is, but he's never been acknowledged as much as he should be. You know,
agreed.
You know, you know, he should be talked about more. You know, talked about, and he was another one that got offers in the past. He's older now, doesn't care at all, but he got offers in the past, and he stuck to his team. You know, and now he's the leader of the team. You know,
so Murphy,
how did that come to be?
Yeah, explain that, and then
because you had a lot of guys. How did Hakeem become team captain? Why was that the case?
The smartest fighter, the was the older fighter, the one that had the right mindset, had the same mindset as me, the same goals as me, and he put the team first. He always put the team first. A good team, a good team, and you're gonna have your good fighters, but if those fighters don't put the team first, see, I've always said it. If you fought for me, any of them, they all know it. Team velocity is more important than any single person. I don't care who you are. Any single one person. The team's got to come first.
Okay.
If you don't care about the team first, you don't care. You only care about yourself. Then you're just fighting for you and maybe somebody paying your entry fee. And it'll never work that way.
Right.
It'll never work that way as a team. So that's always the way I see it, and he sees it exactly the same way. And of course, now he's older now. Now he's got a family, so now he's more settled in, and he wants more to see the future, and he wants to be part of that. And I'm not saying he still can't fight, because he'll win an overall, maybe every tournament he goes to. He's an amazing fighter, but
he always looks like he's 27 years old.
Yes, he does.
I think until he's like 62, he's gonna look like he's 27.
Yeah, it's definitely a black thing, bro.
All
right.
Oh,
hey, I can say whatever I want, because trust me, my daughter is half black. So and they know I love everybody. Bro, Hakeem looks like he's 25.
It's crazy.
He looks like he's 25.
It's crazy.
One of the biggest things too, the friendship that we ended up having is so amazing that I don't know if you guys know. He has a daughter and his baby now, and I'm the godfather of his baby.
Awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing.
And I'm the godfather. The first thing he asks, Coach, would you be the godfather? And when things like that happen, then you say, damn.
That's it right there.
Yep, you've done it, right? Yep.
Yeah, we've done it. I've done it. What a blessing. What a blessing, because what do you win a trophy, you win money at a tournament, stuff like that. What do you have left? You don't even remember a year from now. But those special moments, or the special things that happen, like at Jeff, us fighting on stage at Jeff Doss's tournament. That was a special moment.
That was a special moment.
That's been talked about a few times.
That was a special moment.
But you know what? Those guys all got it going back the whole trip. You can ask Jeremy, you can ask Ramon de la, you can ask Kevin Walker, and they all got it the whole trip coming back, because that's not what we were looking for. I mean, it wasn't, Jeremy's going to be Jeremy, but the opponent needs to understand that and play the, and don't let your game plan change. So, also happened that he was the one that got, punched and stuff like that. And it happens, it was everybody's fault, and it was nobody's fault. Things happen, they shouldn't happen. And I was more sad about, that the night show was going so amazing, and, but you kind of played it right, and we kept the show on the road, but
there's still things that I look at too that I could do better in that situation as a promoter, and as just calming other people down in certain ways, But
and we're also the underdogs in NBL.
Right.
We were, and we ended up going to a few NBL tournaments that year. I was trying to change it up a little bit, and we went to a couple of tournaments. Actually went to the one and only Super Grands that we won the senior the mixed double. We got the mix with Kevin, Hakeem, and Gina. Yeah. Was it Gina? Yeah, Kevin, Hakeem, and Gina.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. It was Kevin, Hakeem, and Gina, and we won and I thought that year was amazing. That was an awesome year.
Yeah, it was a great Super Grands that year. Big turnout. Just well rounded. As far as people from different backgrounds, come different leagues competing.
And I'll say it here. You guys want to say something? I like the NBL Super Grands better than the way NASCAR works. 100%. You're not a champion until you win that tournament, And in this and in NASCAR, you get enough points. You might have never won a first place, and you're still the world champion. And you'll get seeded at the end of that tournament and stuff like that. You have the right if you won enough events, but if you don't win, you still lost. You're still nothing. So that I liked a lot.
Well, I think now the NASCAR point. You're right. You're absolutely right with. We're just adding points. We're not actually competing. We're adding points.
Right.
But I think
And
now
this
I
has
think
been
it
a
might
big
be
topic too lately too.
now it might be better. But there's been like in years past, they kind of ran the points on the honor system
Oh, right.
where you just submit your points. This is
Yeah.
what I did, and
Yeah.
nobody really checked.
Yeah,
And
nobody even checked. Nobody
No,
even
right.
checked.
And
I
then
mean, it's ridiculous. We never, man. I don't think I've had like none of my guys. None of them ever won like a world NASCAR title because
NASCAR title.
they never sent in 1 point.
Right.
You know, we've never sent in 1 point. It doesn't matter. You know, I mean, why would you not want to fight? You know, and team fighting more times and stuff like that. I mean, let's go. Put them in front of me. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and really in the only end it really helps is more of the forms competitors, and unfortunately that that's not good either. You know what I mean? I loved how the NBL was every tournament was random and it went, and then at the end of the year you had seeds, and that made sense because you were building up over time. Then at the end of the year, that makes it just like any other sport, playoffs and seeding.
Also, NBA has some stupid rules like the blood rule.
No, it does. The blood rule. It's I know, man.
Right?
I know. There's a
I don't
lot.
know if you knew about that, Alex. That we went
I
to
know.
Jeff. We went to
Yeah.
we went to Jeff for like 2 or 3 years in a row. We really
2 years,
enjoyed
yep.
the event, and we've always liked Jeff a lot. And Leo's beating the guy 9-0, and he cuts him by mistake with the side of the glove, and the guy wins the fight. And we're like, oh, really?
It was crazy. It was terrible.
So that part I wasn't very happy for.
No.
Of course, I went crazy that day, and that right after that same event was when we picked up Kevin right after that event.
Yep. Picked up Kevin. Jeremy had a great. I mean, he made it to the finals and lost to Jamad. I know you're probably still pissed about that one, but just said Jeremy. But also you had Edgardo who was there, the one Ironman. So
he won the Ironman.
Yeah.
That was that was a great event that year. The next couple of years, man, we always had a good time at your event, because you and your brother and your mother just put like your hearts into your tournament, so
Thank you.
that always means a lot to us, that you care about. You got to care about the people. It can't be all just money,
No.
and that's why we had such a big just to put a little bit of a shout out there, that's why we do so good in the USA Sport Karate.
Yes.
Because it's not so much about the money. We have deals that you can do 3 events for like $60 and this and that. It's just about, man, the competitors. Let's get everybody out there competing. That's why we do well. Besides the how Jeremy runs the events. I mean, you guys. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. He might be the best coordinator in the country.
He's awesome. He's awesome
in the country. I mean, but you gotta, they gotta be first. Competitors gotta be first. The coaches gotta be first. Hear them out. Coaching is a big deal. Hear them out. Hear them out. They should have their side of the story. I mean, there is a lot of people that go overboard, but coaching should be a.
And I like how it's organized and stuff, and it's professional. The coaches have to wear coaches' shirts. The judges look professional. Like, if you want kids and families to come to an event or a league and to follow it, it needs to look the part, right? And that's something that Jeremy's been big on, and I love it. I mean, every time I've gone down,
and it's not Jeremy, because if you guys don't know, Jeremy's not a dictator, believe it or not. I mean, he sounds like it sometimes, but if 3 promoters say we didn't like the new idea, Jeremy got overruled. And he's like, so he'll tell you himself, he'll like, all right, guys, I understand, or I thought it was this way, but you guys kind of make sense. You make sense. Boom, all right. Everybody's in the same page. There's always got to be a leader. Just like the coach of a team or whatever, it's got to be a leader. And Jeremy's the leader of USA Sport Karate. Just like you got Mr. Scalar, but the rest of us, we all got a big saying in it. We all got our parts. We got good promoters that are young and hungry and know about the sport. Where else do you get a John Corotolo that's a promoter, or myself, or Damian Rodriguez, awesome. and stuff like that. So we all have a lot to bring to the table of what we love personally. So, and we're giving what we love and putting it there. Not only putting it there. letting them experience that too. You know.
Awesome. Hey, so Murphy, as we getting close to wrapping up, let's talk about another experience you just had. This is a comment that Chris said. He was like, he's calling you the WKC MVP, Coach Murphy. So what was that like, coaching those guys and being a part of that?
You know what? It felt good. Like I told you from the beginning, I don't give a
Right.
I don't give anything about anybody recognizing me or anything like that. You know what I mean? But when Richard Prowling gives you a call and says, "Coach, I want you to coach this year," you know, I want it to be you.
Right.
You know, you're like, you kind of say, "Oh, okay." A little pat on the back is not, you know, it's not too bad, you know. And you know, it was a pretty cool thing. It was a pretty cool that he set out and let me coach his son. You know, one of the smartest, another one of the smartest fighters I've ever been, you know, been able to coach for a second. He's very, by the way, he's very coachable. Awesome. Avery Plowden is very coachable. The real good fighters, you know, you figure out that they actually listen if they trust you, right? And the same thing with him, Chris Gorham. You know, I changed his fighting just a little bit when he fought Robbie, and he was coachable. He listened. You know, of course, it's at the end of the day, it's you the one that's fighting. You know, but these guys, you know, they were a pleasure to work with. But yeah, it really felt good. It felt good to be, you know, recognized and stuff like that. And you know, so, and it was an awesome experience. It really was. I've gone to one. I went to the last one they had in Orlando just to check it out. Coached a couple of my own fighters for my team. Right. But to be able to be with them and a couple of guys thought I was crazy when I put Avery up third. But you know. But after that, I was an amazing coach when it worked out.
That's right.
You know, that it was like it was kind of easy. It was a little different because I'm used to all right, Alex, you're having a trouble. You're in the first round. You're having a trouble with that. Hey, don't get beat up. Don't get beat by too many points. Work as a team because now Jeff is going to come and you know. But this one was about matches. Right. So when we lose the first match, and I send Chris out. And Chris wins, I have to send out Avery. I'm gonna go up 2-1. I'm gonna go up 2-1, and now I'm gonna have two chances to win it. And also Ronald, that had fought the day before, had fought amazing the day before. He was having a good tournament, so I really thought they had a good chance, you know, to beat Juskar, and it worked out. It worked out. They had a stacked team. They had a stacked team. I mean, you know, that was as dangerous as it came. But that was another point that when you work together and you work as a team. You most of the time will come up on top.
Well, let's touch on that for a moment. Stacked teams. Let's test your coaching abilities right now.
They were the Lakers.
Well,
they were the Lakers.
Let's say your top 5. Who's your top 5 all time men's team fights?
Right?
You can pick your top 5.
Okay, he's picking his top 5. All right,
you're picking them. Your team. You're coaching.
Ouch, Alex, you should have told me it's like a day ago and I would have thought about it and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not going to tell you the top 5 best fighters that you know of. I'm going to tell you 5 fighters that I can probably go ahead and win with anybody. And believe it or not, look how crazy that we're talking about team fighting, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely put Jeremy as one of my top. I would pick him in my team. Have you ever seen a team fighter?
No, this is something
they can get into your mind. They can get into your head. True. They can change the outcome of anybody.
That's
like Jeremy does.
It's true. It's so true.
So we're not like I said, if I was to do that, I don't even think I'm going to tell you all 5. But if I was to do that, somebody like Jeremy would be a pick, and maybe not a Raymond Daniels or another person you might think that obvious picks. I'm gonna win a 5-man team fighting. You know, the way you know, definitely Ross is you know, for me, one of the top fighters, and smartest fighters ever. Man, you got me thinking too fast. You know,
well, you're not doing bad so far.
Can I no, I would not pick Jody. You know, I wouldn't pick Jody for the team fighting part. I would pick Jody to win overall grands.
Right.
And this is what I'm trying to explain to you. I would pick Jody to win overall grands that day. but wouldn't pick him if I had to pick him for the for the top 5, as you said, for a team, to win in that moment. And he's gonna write something about me in a little while, but we're great friends, so it don't matter. Jack is a great team fighter.
Yeah.
So you got Jiro, you got Ross, you got Jack.
I gotta go big. I gotta go big, and right now, current, I'll pick Dawson. I'll pick Cam.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll go crazy. And I'll pick Darren Payne.
Oh, all right.
Explain that one. I'm trying to wrap my head
you said current. Let me start by telling you this. In the next 2 years, he'll be, if not the best fighter, one of the top 3 best fighters there is. In about 2 years.
I think he's well on his way. I really do. I mean, the guy's in there in the end at most of the last 3 tournaments. He's got everything that it takes to be on top of the game. He's got the height. He's got the he's very smart. He's still growing. Yeah. Another one great listener. We're very we talk almost every day. He has a good relationship with my daughter. With my middle daughter, they've been going out for a couple of years, but he's even stayed at my house. And we talk about it all the time. And he's got everything, and he listens. It's yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, right, for everything. And I think the 2 people that I've seen that more than anybody do that, and the other one stayed at my house too. I had Bailey in my house, and I had Darren at the same time. We're hanging out here. Dude, these guys never saw a movie. They were looking at fights the whole 2 days. Right. They were looking at fights the whole 2 days. They still teachable. They're still learnable. They still want to get better. And yeah, I'll definitely pick Bailey. Very, very smart, and he can come from behind and win it for you.
Well, wait a minute. Now you got to kick somebody off.
Why?
You got 6.
I got 6. I can't get an alternate.
See, he likes to have that alternate.
who, I forgot who I picked.
You got Jeremy,
Ross, okay,
Jack,
okay,
Cam,
and Darren. All right, I'll take off Jack.
And put in Bailey.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question.
Velocity, guys, get ready.
Hey, let me ask guys a question that I have. I have the craziest conversations, right? Like I told you about my wife. I also have this. We talk karate 24/7 with both of my daughters. That they're both in Miami, my oldest daughters, and we talk about it. And our biggest fight is would Elijah beat Bailey in the United States?
Oh, all right. We've talked about this a little bit, man.
I don't look at a lot of these things for nobody, so don't get it don't get it wrong. So I'm not a big sometimes I stay and I hear, but so I haven't heard if you guys have said it. But this is my conversation with my 2 daughters.
That's awesome,
right?
Yeah.
How does it go?
And I personally say that Elijah cannot beat Bailey here.
Right now, in the current state that Bailey is, we're not talking about 2 years ago when he lost to Elijah at the U.S. Open.
He's another person right now.
Yeah, he's completely different. He's not even the same.
Although he was good, he's a whole total different person.
Yeah, I think both of them have leveled up. It's crazy. We've talked to both of them on their show. Yeah, I mean that run that Bailey had this year, it was just incredible to me the way he was in his confidence. And not just going to an event and winning one division, or winning the overall, but like winning all 3 events, like everywhere. It was just, I feel like he has a way better chance of beating.
Definitely a better chance. I don't know about Elijah's amazing, another amazing fighter, amazing fighter. But I think the same odds are not the same if you're up there.
Right.
If you're up there, he's definitely the poster. He's definitely the poster boy and the the big guy there. Right. And over here, Bailey is not though.
So why do you think Bailey's going to beat him here?
The rules are different. The rules are different. I really think they gave Elijah a few points. And Bailey had to adjust to that kind of fighting. Elijah already knows that fighting, and believe it or not, it was a fighting that you have to adjust to. The way, the movements, the front hand back fist, and everything else. Bailey had to in a few days. I'm sure he practiced it before, but still had to change his way of fighting a whole year to fight that way. So
what I'll say in Elijah's favor sounds silly, but I mean it's true. If Elijah plays the Tomas Imre hand in the sense that he refuses to pick his foot up, I don't see him losing. If he picks his foot up, whoever's fighting Elijah right now, if Elijah picks his foot up, you should score. You should score. That's an immediate point, right? Because he's not doing anything with it right now. It's just there, right? So, I think.
So you're telling me that Bailey's blitz would have been easier to throw here. Bailey's blitz would have been better here. Because they're calling more the blitz. There was a lot of points that they were jamming and they weren't calling nothing.
Right.
I mean, there was a couple of I don't know if they just didn't like his fighting or what it was, but there was a lot in every match. Every match, there was a points that they were just not giving him. I don't know if it's like the way they didn't want us hard contact, or they didn't want or they weren't calling the jams that were favoring Bailey. Or what, but there was a lot of stuff that they weren't calling.
Especially in that Italian fight where he fought the guy from Italy, there was a lot. I didn't think that was as close as it should have been, as it was. So, so yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Man, we got some good insight into this one there, Alex. I'm loving this conversation, man. I know we could go on more and more.
Before we wrap up,
yes.
Before we wrap up, we gotta say this: we didn't have a show last week.
Yes.
There's a real big reason why we didn't have
a show last week. Congrats, Alex.
Selfishly say this: my son was born last week.
Oh man, congratulations! Congratulations! Yeah, that's definitely not your first, right? No, you have
third.
Your third. Okay, all right.
Check this out. Never gonna believe this. This is true story. Cannot make this shit up. Okay, so our doctor he's a funny guy, right? So he's right there and he's telling me, he's like, Dad, come here. You see the hair? And I'm like, yeah, I see the hair, right? And he goes, wait, don't push yet. I'm not dressed. So he gets his gown on and he goes, okay, wait a minute. And kid you not, you've had kids before, so Murph, you know how this goes. And he goes, Dad.
Well, my wives have had it. I haven't had no kids. I mean, I've just been the father part.
True. So he goes, Dad, you deliver him. I went, wait.
Are you serious?
Kid you not. Right? I'm like, wait, what did you say? And he goes, you deliver them. Now, there's two things I always wear all the time, no matter what. I always wear my wedding ring, and I always wear this watch. This is a gift that my wife gave to me on our wedding day. I, for some reason, just happened to take the watch off. Right? So I'm like, and they're like, yeah, give him gloves. And I'm like, wait, you're not serious. And in my head, I didn't say this. In my head, I'm thinking, the amount of money we're spending on this thing, shouldn't we have a specialist for this? So I'm like, I'm literally couldn't speak. So he's like, yeah, just push here. When she pushes, when I tell her to push, just get ready to catch the head. Head comes out. This is the scary part. Cord around the neck.
Yeah.
So they're going, clamp. Dad, here, scissors. They like threw scissors at me. Like, you shouldn't be doing this right now. They're like, cut right there. Where'd he go? And I cut. And they're like, oh, great cut. And I'm like, oh, I'm just doing what you're telling me. Right? They go, all right, get ready. When I say push, she's going to push and get ready to catch him. Like a slip and slide. Out he comes. And it's like the Lion King. Right? I pick him up like this. And I'm like, this is real. This is real life. I can't believe this is happening. And I picked him up. No freaking way had it happened. Doctor didn't do nothing except go like this. He was like you, coach. Right? He's telling you what to do.
There we go.
Hey, little brother.
No, that's my daughter.
Oh,
She's good.
Oh,
yeah. Oh man.
Awesome. But that's amazing. But you're way better. I would have fainted 3 times by then.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm as tough as they come, man. You put me 5 guys there, I laugh at them, and But when it comes to things like that, I would have fainted 3 times. Not me.
Oh man, that's
Not
crazy.
me. But
That's
man,
crazy.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats,
You know,
His
Alex.
name's Adrian
you know,
Maxwell Dingman.
Awesome,
awesome.
man.
You know, God bless
Congrats,
them.
Alex.
Man, kids are are what keeps us going, or is what keeps us motivated. Man, I got a big gap. My oldest is 22, and then I got remarried a few years ago, and this one's 3 years old. You know, I don't know if what you did. Jeremy put the other day that when she graduates, I'm going to be 65, but that's just him. But I have a young wife, and she wanted a baby, and it was either me or somebody else. So I picked me to give it to her. And yeah, I'm so blessed with her. She's amazing. She loves karate. She's already gone. She just turned 3. She's been in karate for a year and a half.
Stop.
Oh, wow.
No. True. Hey,
Wow.
go to my Facebook, and you'll see pictures from all the time. She just went. I had a friendship tournament a couple of weeks ago, and she competed in the. She just turned 3. She competed against the 5-year-olds. She like all day long doing karate, and she's amazing. They just keep us going. Keep us going. But
awesome, man. Definitely
we're
blessed.
totally blessed. And what I can tell you guys is, there's always going to be bad times in life, but look at the many beautiful things God has given us.
Big time,
man. Look at what we do.
Yeah, we're super blessed, man. So much.
Best job in the world.
Yes, sir. It is.
It
is.
So
it is.
I'm very grateful. Very grateful. Very grateful for everybody.
Thanksgiving?
No, actually, no. My mom is in Miami. My daughters are in Miami. I decided to stay here and be with, and just me, my wife, and the baby for this one. But we'll pick it up in Christmas. I love Christmas.
Yeah.
I had my Christmas tree up the day after Halloween. So
that's
nice.
Like that. I don't celebrate Halloween. For you guys that know, I was never a big church person or anything like that. But in the last few years, I've turned myself completely to God, and
awesome.
And there's been many blessings in my life, And
yes, sir.
I treat everybody the same. Wherever some people believe, some people don't. But it's definitely changed my mind, my way of living. So that's been one of the best things that has happened to me.
A lot of Christians that feel one way or the other about Halloween. What I will say is, don't play with the devil's magic, because he plays back.
Exactly. I didn't see it that way. It's many things that you learn and you hear and you stuff like that. But I mean, this is not the right spot. I just decided not to. Don't want to waste my youngest daughter like that. She can dress up. She has 20 different dresses that every day she puts on a different princess. But we're not going to celebrate a day for for that. So that's just me. That's just one of the ways that I've changed a lot. And we get older. We get a little. I'm a little. A lot of people saying I'm a lot nicer now, but that doesn't mean I don't still got that.
Oh, you got that fire in you.
Exactly. You don't want to bring it out. You still don't want to bring it out.
Right.
So.
Oh man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
for thank you. Yes, sir.
Sharing a little bit of me, and man, there's still a lot of Team Velocity. There's still a lot of Murphy Gonzalez. For a long time. And since I'm there, I'll take the free time that Starcade number 24 is on February 11 and 12 in South Florida. Although I moved to Orlando a couple of years ago, I still have my tournament in South Florida. And I think, a lot of international people will be back since it's open again. And, hope to have a lot of people support. I always put a lot of work in, since 1999 into Starcade, making it a nice event. And
well, we'll probably have you on again before then, when you have these superstar additions to your team.
That's right. That's right.
I can't wait to see what that's going to be.
Yo, I'm super pumped up for next year. I'm like, I think there's a time in everybody's life that you slow down a little bit, yourself. You're super pumped up. I think everybody is, right? It feel like we were in jail and now we're free. There's so much gonna happen in 2022. you know, for everybody, and you know, for everybody. I wish everybody a lot of success. Every single person, you know.
It's going to be a great one.
There's enough students for everybody. There's enough team members for everybody. There's enough tournaments for everybody. You know, there's a lot of everything for everybody. You know, so you know, don't. What I say to everybody is don't talk shit about each other. Support each other.
Yes, sir.
Support each other. Don't you got nothing good to say? Don't even say nothing.
That's right, man. Murphy, thank you so much, man. You've killed it today on the show. And thank you for just, again, like you said, letting everybody learn a little bit more about you, and just especially that part of the end too. Thank you so much for sharing that. So
thank you guys.
man.
I appreciate you. God bless you both.
Yes, sir. God bless you, man. All right, Alex.
This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week. Have a great one. Happy Thanksgiving.